Saint Vicelinus was a German bishop of Oldenburg in Holstein who was considered the Apostle of Holstein. Life. Vicelinus was born in Hamelin around 1086. Orphaned at an early age, he was raised by his uncle Ludolf, a priest in a neighboring village. He left secretly for Paderborn, where he enjoyed the home and instructions of Hartmann, and soon surpassed his companions and assisted in the management of the cathedral school. Vicelinus was called to Bremen to act as teacher and principal of the school, and was offered a canonry by Archbishop Frederick of the Archbishopric of Hamburg-Bremen. In 1122 he may have gone to Laon to complete his studies under Abelard. In 1126, Vicelinus decided to travel to Magdeburg in order to see St. Norbert, who at the time was the archbishop. He hoped that St. Norbert would ordain him a priest and he could begin missionary work among the Slavists. For one reason or another this plan failed and Vicelinus returned to Bremen, where Bishop Albero ordained him. Hamburg-Bremen's Archbishop Adalbero sent him among the Palabian Slavs, and in the fall of 1126 Henry, Prince of the Obertrites, gave him a church in Lübitzer, near the site of the later Lübeck. At the death of Henry, Vicelinus returned to Bremen, and was appointed pastor at Wippinthorp. This gave him an opportunity to work among the Wagrians and neighboring Obertrites. Vicelinus's preaching gathered crowds of eager listeners, and many priests aided him in founding the new monastery in 1127, which became eponymous for Wippinthorp as Neumünster. The monastery followed the rule of St. Augustine, and was liberally endowed by the archbishop. Wars among the tribes in 1137 caused the missionaries to abandon the labors for 2 years. Vicelinus sent 2 priests to Lübitzer, but with little success. In 1134 he founded a second canonry at Segeberg. Some years later Vicelinus established a house at Hogesdorf. In Harschefeld, Hamburg, Bremen's Archbishop Hartwig I made him Bishop of Starogard in 1149. There he did much for the spiritual and temporal welfare of his diocese. In 1152 he was struck by paralysis and lingered amid much suffering for 2 years before dying in Neumünster. Veneration. After in 1330 the Augustan Canon Law College moved to Bordesholm, his body was transferred thereto in 1332, and buried before the main altar. In 1874 the small Catholic parish at Hamelin had his picture engraved on a new bell. He is usually represented with a church resting on his left arm. His feast is celebrated on the 12th of December.